In this video, I want to look at some really powerful tools that GigoShop gives you right out of the box to improve your visitor experience. And they have to do with widgets on the sidebar. So let's go into our dashboard here in GigoShop. Now you don't see it from here and there's no link to it, but if you go under Appearance and Widgets, you're going to find a whole slew of great widgets that'll do all sorts of things for you. I'm going to show you just a few of them here. Let's get rid of Calendar because we don't really need that on the side there. And I'm going to put in one of my favorites here. It's called Price Filter. Just give it a title here and it'll just say Choose by Price. There we go, and we save it. And when we come back here, we're now going to find this handy little slider. I'm going to just filter from the top here and I'm going to say, I only want to find items that are from $0 to $16, let's say. Let's make it from $6 to $15, let's say. So I'm going to narrow it. I hit filter here, and it's going to take all the products on this page and it's going to filter them by the price. All right? So that only left me with $13.99. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is if I get rid of this widget, okay, so I delete this widget and I come back here, notice that now these are my default widgets have come back in here because I have no widgets in the sidebar. Now notice that it's still only showing me this plate, but I'm not filtering anymore, at least not consciously. But if you looked in your address bar, you would see that it's got those prices, the filter still in there. So you'd have to go back. Let's just do this. I'll just hit shop. That's the easiest way. So I go back to shop. That'll clear all of my filtering. And now I go back to normal. If you're wondering why you removed the filter and it's still filtering, that's what was happening. All right, let's try another widget here. Again, another one of my favorites is, where did it go here? It's called Layered Nav. Now, that's a bit of an odd name for it, but here, let's give us some choices here. Choose by. And what it does is it finds all the attributes that you've created for various products within your shopping cart. So this drop-down will vary depending on what you've got. Let's choose by size, let's say, and I hit save. And now my sidebar is going to show a new way of choosing. So it says, find me all the large items. I know there's one of them. Of course, it would show you how many there are in the system. Medium. If I click on this, it's going to filter now only those items that have medium-sized products, which is just the soup bowl here. One of the things I find a little bit confusing here, and you could probably fix through CSS by changing colors or adding a little symbol, is this right here. Clear really means just get rid of the choices I've made and go back to normal. But sometimes it looks like it's part of the list here. And especially if you've got color or something like that, it looks like clear is one of the colors that you're choosing from or something. So anyway, I would put a little X or something beside that to clear my choices. Okay, back to widgets here. Let's get rid of that one. And another one that I really like is product search, because it's specifically not searching your site. It's only searching products. Okay. Now, if I save this, it has a default title. Notice I didn't put in my own title there. It has a default title of product search. And then in here, it says search for products. And some people don't like that. And so if you're not going to actually choose your own title, you don't want anything to appear because search products is pretty explanatory in itself. All you have to do is put a space. I'm just going to put one space in there, hit save. And that's going to get rid of the title altogether for us. There you go. Because that's explanatory there, search for products. That was nice and easy. Okay, let's delete that one. Then there's a login form. You can put that on the sidebar too. Okay, and you have two choices. You can put a title for when the person's logged out or when they're logged in. Now, what they don't say here is that it actually has its own titling. If you don't put anything in, it will automatically put in a title, which is, Hey George. Now it's taking my first name as a user and it's plugging it in there, which is kind of cool because it's personalized. Now the only problem is if I do put in a title for logged in, so George is logged in right now, and I say, hey there, it doesn't actually put in my name, and I haven't been able to find a way to put in the name. There's nothing in the documentation that says, put in a little code or something and it will insert the person's name. So you have a choice of either your own title or a title that's personalized, but you have no control over it. So I thought it would have been nice for them to allow us to put in that person's name. All kinds of things, as I say here. You could put in your cart, by the way. Some people like to have the cart in the sidebar. You can easily do that here. And we just save. This is by default. It's pretty well set up for you. There we go. So now, whatever's in my cart will show up here. Now, if you've got a lot of items in your cart, it could get pretty crazy on the sidebar here. So you don't have a choice of whether or not to show the items. It's going to show everything in there. So there's nothing in the widget that says, just show view cart totals or something like that. So unfortunately, you're stuck with all of the items being shown. And then, of course, you can go to the full view cart or go straight to checkout. If it's a kind of product that only, one or two products are going to be chosen at a time, it might not be bad to have it in the sidebar. But if it's going to be like 30, 40 items, it could get pretty crazy after a while. So again, lots and lots of different options here. Products on sale is kind of cool. Let's say what's on sale here. Choose your number of products to show. And in this case, I only have one product on sale. But the nice thing is it's going to show this no matter where I am on the site. It's going to draw my attention to things that are on sale. And again, you could play with the styling of this in your style sheet so that it's maybe jazzier for attracting attention from people. Okay, so let's go back. And there was one other one that I wanted to show you here. And that is your featured products, okay? So I'm going to drag that over here, put it underneath. Well, let's leave them both on. What's cool? What's great, let's say. All right. The featured products you have control over when you're in your product listings, okay? Now, the reason it's doing that, it's showing the same bowl because if I go over to products here, and I show all products, I'm just going to take this off of featured. So right now, see where it says featured? I'm going to take that off, update, and now there won't be anything that's showing. It doesn't keep the title there. It just doesn't show the widget at all. So those are some options for you to extend the usability of your JigoShop shopping cart by using these widgets.